More than 2 million Americans will suffer from a traumatic brain injury each year. That is why the Defense and Veterans Brain Injury Center, who is celebrating 25 years, focuses on research and treatment for service members, veterans, and their families, and how traumatic brain injuries are not just a military problem. So today, Pittsburgh Steelers offensive tackle Alejandro Villanueva and National Director of the Defense and Veterans Brain Injury Center, Colonel Jeffrey Grammer, are both joining me to talk about an awareness campaign. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Colonel, let's actually start with the center. And again, congratulations on that 25 years. But how does the center go about helping service members?
So the Defense and Veteran Brain Injury Center partners with the Veterans Administration to advance state-of-the-science care for service members, veterans, and their families. We have 3 lines of effort, the first being research, where we try to find better ways of diagnosing and treating brain injury. Our Clinical Affairs Division develops clinical support tools and clinical practice guidelines, often incorporating the latest research. And then our Education Division makes sure that providers understand and know how to use those clinical support tools and clinical practice guidelines for the care of their patients.
And I did mention just a moment ago about an awareness campaign, and I'm sure awareness and education is a big mission for this center. What are the goals that you guys are hoping to achieve with this Awareness Month?
So we use Brain Injury Awareness Month to communicate directly to the general population and patients and their families. And this year we are observing that Brain Injury Awareness Month with the Think Ahead campaign. We actually have the hashtag Think Ahead. And we want people to think ahead to be safe, try to prevent brain injury, wear your bicycle helmet, for example, try to mitigate things that can result in injury. We want people to know the signs of brain injury so they can identify whether they or someone they know has suffered a brain injury. And we want people to get help. So anyone that you think may have had a brain injury should get evaluated, because the earlier you get into treatment, the better your outcome can be.
Well, and Alejandro, as a Army Ranger and a football player, I know you have been in both respects in a position to possibly be one of those that could have had a brain injury. What do you say to people maybe that say, I want to be conscious of that, but I also want to still live a very active life? I'm sure you get that question a lot.
Yes, and what I think is that you have to think ahead and be proactive about the decisions that you can make and you have to your control. And it starts with looking at your environment where you're performing all your activities, understanding how you can mitigate risk, know the symptoms of a head injury, and ultimately get help. And I think sometimes taking a couple weeks off and letting your brain heal is all that you need to fully recover from these injuries and increase your quality of life in the long run.
Well, and I feel like this is definitely getting a little bit of extra added attention, a little bit more headlines, and rightfully so. So how can somebody else kind of spread this awareness and do their part?
So we would ask that people use the hashtag Think Ahead. Please post that to social media, spread it. Let's get that message out. Also, folks can go to our website, the DivBIC website at dvbic.dcoe.mil. That's divbic.deco.mil. Lots of information on there on not only the campaign, but on brain injury for patients and families.
Well, again, Colonel, thank you for 25 years of great service. And Alejandro, thank you so much for sharing your personal experience.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Don't go anywhere. The Morning Blend. We'll be right back.